cameo.
That was a surprise.
Oh, you didn't know?
No one told me about it.
Well, if you haven't been told about the cameo at the end of Season 3 of Squid Game, turn this video off right now.
Yeah, that was a big secret this season, and we had to keep it to ourselves for such a long time.
That cameo has fueled speculation that it's a segue to the rumored David Fincher spin-off or continuation or remake of Squid Game. The Deadline reported that he's working on last October.
At one point, someone I knew said, I heard a famous Hollywood actor's gonna be in the show. And I told them, oh, I don't know, I haven't heard anything about that.
Okay, I think that's enough time for those who haven't made it to that part of the game to exit. So here we go. Now, I was actually spoiled by Netflix's tweet on July 1st that said the Cate Blanchett slap heard around the world, which has been viewed 5 million times in 48 hours.
I didn't know who would be making a cameo, and I never thought it'd be someone so famous.
Yeah, well, as soon as Lee Jung-Jae saw the final script with that scene in it, he was not in the small final circle of those who knew that would be the 2-time Oscar winner playing the American recruiter.
All right, let's go again.
As you wish.
And actually, when writer-director Hwang Dong-Hyak was putting together the finale, he did debate whether or not it should be Cate and Ji-hung that shared that meaningful glance.
Should he be the one who meets the recruiter in the US? Should Gi-hun see the game over there?
But ultimately, it was the frontman who'd be the one who looked down that Nightmare Alley and see the Australian playing the game.
In the end, though, because of scheduling, Cate Blanchett, she's one of my favorite actors, but I didn't even get to say hello.
Yeah, Cate and Lee Byung-hun shot their parts separately, and yeah, you notice that they're never seen in the frame together. It just cuts back and forth between them. Logistics prevented the actors meeting, but I have a feeling that secrecy played a part as well to keep those who saw Cate on set to an absolute minimum.
I couldn't say hi, because once we shot it, we had to go.
Right. The timing just didn't work out.
Yeah, I was really sad about that.
But Lee is certainly happy with how the final moment plays out on screen, saying, it's truly an ending that fits the show's name. Yeah, so Cate is seen playing ddakji, the game that Ji-hung plays in the very first episode of the series that leads him to the much more deadly version. And Cate had to be an expert at it instantly.
She had to hit the other ddakji and flip it, but she couldn't get it. So I went over and gave her a quick lesson, right then and there.
And of course, being a 2-time Oscar winner, she delivered when the cameras were rolling.
The take we used, that was real.
She flipped it?
Yeah, you know, the tilt up from the ddakji, where we first show her face. That confidence you see, that's all real. Because she'd finally managed to flip it over. And that's the take we used.
And Hyon explained to the Hollywood Reporter, I thought that having a woman who's a recruiter for the American system would be a nice contrast and also quite a powerful, impactful element. We needed someone who had that level of presence and charisma to completely dominate the screen in that instant. And that naturally led me to Cate Blanchett. I've always been a fan of hers. She's someone who can instantly grab your attention with a single stare. She certainly can, and with that final scene, it demonstrated that the game isn't over.
It's really a metaphor for the real world. A world in which capitalism drives relentless competition. So until all that stops, this game isn't going to stop. We see that the game in Korea, with Gi-hun's sacrifice, does come to an end. But I wanted to say, in other places though, the game is still going.
And while the metaphorical game isn't over, Hwang tells the Hollywood Reporter that he wasn't trying to signal that the series isn't over, saying, I didn't end it on that note in order to deliberately leave room for further stories to happen. I wrote that scene wanting an impactful ending for the show, not in order to open rooms for anything else. But of course, it conveniently does.
Plus, if we wrapped everything up, we'd have no reason to come back. And I don't think the fans would like that.
But in terms of being a bridge to David Fincher's rumored spin-off or continuation or whatever it is, Hwang says, honestly, nothing has been said to me officially by Netflix about this. I've only read it in articles myself as well. I've always been a huge fan of David Fincher's work from Seven, and I've loved his films, so if he were to create an American Squid Game, I think that would be very interesting to watch. I would definitely click on it immediately after it's released if it were to happen. It's all very interesting, and look, I mean, having an ending like that certainly plays into Netflix's favor, because I mean, there's no doubt they're going to continue Squid Game in some kind of form, like why wouldn't you? I don't think Netflix has signed a deal with Cate Blanchett to star in the English language version of Squid Game, because remember, she's playing the recruiter there, which is relatively a minor role, and I don't see how you would expand that role to a level that would be worthy of Cate's talents. And I don't think she'd be playing the front man and front woman, because the front man and front woman wouldn't be out on the streets showing their face in that early stages of, just recruiting people. That doesn't make sense to me. If Fincher is doing an English language version, I was thinking, you'd need Cate to do a cameo there to kind of connect the two. But I was thinking, no, you don't. Because what they could do is they could have a scene where, whatever, you know, the front man and front woman is in some kind of control room and they're talking about recruiting people, and you could have monitors of, you know, the different recruiters out there on the streets, you know, recruiting people. And yeah, in one monitor you could have the footage of Cate recruiting that guy. So yeah, that could be all you need to do to connect it to. But yeah, just as a cameo itself, it's very cool. I do wonder if it was necessary to have a big star, because yeah, it does create all the speculation of you know, the series continuing. But hey, get some people talking, so that's great. Yeah, what are your thoughts on Cate's surprising cameo at the end of Squid Game?
As you wish.